All right.
We did the thing.
Are we doing the things?
We are live, and we got like Aura's amazing thumbnail. It's so creepy. It's like weird creepy. And I have music. I don't know if the music is hearable, but I found spooky, non-copyrighted music for our stream background.
Yay!
Yay, it's spooky stuff night, guys. Spooky stuff.
They were mad at us last night.
This
They didn't like
stream,
us.
yeah, this stream has actually like been prepared for. We work on the Tuesday night stream. This is kind of like, I guess it's almost like the tea time replacement stream.
Pretty much.
Except for I think me and Kayla agreed like November, December, we didn't want to really be drama channel.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun when it lasted, but
it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. It's not really like what I think me and Kayla are really about. We just want to talk about stupid shit and have chat to like talk to, right? Yeah. I think that's what it is. Yeah. So we started like Tinfoil Tuesday, but I don't know if that name will stick.
No.
Because it's but like I like this. Like we're just getting into fun topics now.
Yeah, stupid shit. Exactly. We're pretty much just bullshitting.
I broke out what we do. All my haunted stuff. I have my Stranger Things shirt on today.
We're supposed to dress up.
No, I just did. And I have like my vampire mug.
Oh my gosh.
That it looks like blood, but I actually made like vampire sunsets. So this will be a fun stream. And then after this, I will be on Twitch tonight to do Overwatch because they did release the new Overwatch character today. So I have to do it. It's probably going to be laggy. But also, quick stream update before we start. I actually paid for Streamlabs. So now we are going to be able to, that means I'm actually committed now. Like when Sushi invests money into something, that means commitment, guys. That means we're going to have these streams. It's going to happen. Because bitches, I ain't wasting money.
Yeah, I know.
So hopefully more podcast things in the future, more streaming with friends, and more just fun stuff like this. So yeah, this is us talking about spooky places across America. This was given to us as a topic by Cheshire. I don't know if she's in chat. They're usually always in chat with me, especially on Twitch. My Twitch following and normal following bust my chops a lot, and that's why you're here, and I'm sure you'll see a lot of it. Oh, and other big news. We are actually streaming on my Facebook page, Gothic Sushi, tonight, as well as my YouTube channel. So if you guys are not following me on Facebook, you can follow me there. Everywhere is just Gothic Sushi. We're trying to convince Kayla underneath me to do some channel stuff. Hopefully in the future we can get her on board.
I have to be forced to do things.
I have to be forced. So this basically how this works on our Tuesday streams is we go over a couple like topics and other things and we talk about it with you in chat and I don't know, we drink and be merry. Oh, there's Cheshire right there. Hi Cheshire, welcome to the stream. So I did go on Facebook because I had a whole bunch of people that were like, are you actually going to go live? Are you really doing it? I'm like, you know what? I'll just stream to Facebook. I might do Facebook every other week and Twitch every other week and see how long, like which one does better. Because I could bring it back to Twitch, the talks. I just felt like I haven't given my Facebook followers like any love in like almost a year. So I thought this would be fun. Yeah. It's almost like this site is reading my mind. It's like, buy Intense Ink right now. It's like it knows that that's the product I use. So we'll start off today's stream with spooky sites, 7 of the most haunted places in the United States. Paranormal. You know, like the word paranormal doesn't like look like that's how it should be said, by the way. Like my dyslexia is like, that is not how that should be spelled.
I mean, para and then normal.
That's true. Stop making me, I need more alcohol, so if I'm dumb, it just makes sense.
It's okay, she's drunk.
Facebook is evil. I did put like 4 shots in this big cup, so. And usually 4 drinks gets me drunk, and I've already drank like that much of this. So we'll see. This is gonna be a good stream. I figure I'd get drunk, wear my spooky shit, talk about spooky shit. Here we go. And if anyone has anything in chat that like we don't bring up on the stream, let us know. We'll pop it up. Kayla, also, if you find anything good on your end, let me know. We'll screen share if you have any good places that you want to talk about. Let's see. You don't need to believe in ghosts to enjoy a ghost story. I guess that's true. Who here believes in ghosts? Kayla, do you believe in ghosts?
I'm definitely like the possibility. Because like, I'm not one of those people that's like had like, oh, like a ghost thing, but I've known friends and stuff like that that have had the ghost experience and everything. And they're like, no, it's totally real. I'm like, I don't want to be mean to my friends and say, no, you're full of it.
Have you ever done like one of those haunted things where you like go into like a haunted house or like you do like the ghost paranormal activity like things with friends or anything like that? You've done those?
Yeah.
You ever had any experience with those or anything?
No, nothing happens. It's just like,
you're like, nothing.
The ghosts are asleep, and it's just like
the ghosts are asleep.
No, like that's just kind of like what I make the joke of, that they're asleep or whatever, but it's just kind of like, no, and nothing ever happens. Like, no.
So like I used to do that a lot in New York. I used to be on ghost hunter teams. I was a median for a long time. So like I have like I'm like a magnet for ghost or whatever they say in paranormal. I don't know. So I've been like weirdly possessed, but like I was never trained. Like, and it just happens. So it's a weird situation. So like, I guess if I have like a situation where I feel like a ghost is talking to me or a spirit, it's more like a really fuzzy radio and I can't understand it like at all. Does that make sense? Like I'm not going to sugarcoat it and be like, oh, I talk to spirits. Oh, Ouija board. Like I'm not going to do that. But like, it's almost like someone like when we're trying to talk on Discord and I keep getting you like in and out talking and then there's like fuzz. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
What's happening? What are you trying to say? Is this my Aunt Sarah? I don't really have an Aunt Sarah. I just use that name. So it looks like the first place on our this is the 7 most spooky or most haunted places in the United States. Mm-hmm. So Waverly Hills Sanatorium, Louisiana. What's a sanatorium?
I think a wacky shack.
I was gonna say, is that like an insane asylum?
I think so. I can like
look a different name for it. I don't know what that is. It looks like, dude, that place looks so cool. Like the places that are usually haunted like this, I see this picture and I just want to fucking go there. Like just take pictures and hang out there. Like I want to break into this building, because it's obviously boarded up, and like just explore.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think it's a bit different. So it's like an establishment for the medical treatment of people who are
if Kayla can't say it,
or I can't pretty much have a chronic illness.
Okay.
So, but like that's like kind of the thing though too. With I know because I've like not like looked into insane asylums or whatever, but insane asylums is just a term. Because it's like they even put people with just mental illnesses there. So
it's probably like the like brain like electricity waves, and they did like weird. Probably back then. I wonder if it gives us a date. Yeah, 1910. Yeah. So I think that's like around the dates when they would like grab people's brains and tug on them while they were alive and see like the reactions. It sucks, but also that's like a huge medical field like growth. I think comes from that kind of stuff too. It's horrible that shit happened, but.
Yeah, I've heard like a lot of stories about people who like got committed, and like I think it's like there's ones where it's like where the wives or whatever would like start to get independent and wouldn't do the wifey things, they'd get committed because they're crazy, they want independence, you silly whammon
with their rights to vote.
Yeah. So I've heard of like that
Mark
stuff with this stuff.
You can't say yo in chat without doing that. Yo! Let's see. This grim bat-winged building is the archetype of haunted hospital or insane asylum. The first hospital on this wide-swept hill of edge of Louisville was built in 1910 to treat victims of white plague. I don't know what the white plague is. I think we should look that up.
I'll look it up. It's like
because
from the Black Plague,
right? Like, what is the white plague? Is it racist against the Black Plague? Like, what's going on here? What is that? Tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis
was ravaging the country. So maybe that's what the White Plague is?
White Plague may refer to Great White Plague or tuberculosis, yeah. I didn't know it was called the White Plague.
I didn't either. See, we're learning stuff. Our streams are about learning, guys.
Learning. So, yeah.
At the time, there was known cure, and disease was often fatal. So yeah, 1910 was a bad time. Like anything before what, like 1950, I want to say, like that's, I think 1950, 1960 is when we started getting like cures for stuff like cold, like different kinds of colds and pneumonias and stuff. No like iron lung, like where they had to sit in the whole entire chamber.
I don't even know how those things work.
I remember like first time I seen like iron like lung pictures with the people and like these giant like coffin like couches. Like I was like, what the fuck? At the time, let's see, in some cases, doctors tried experimental methods to help ease symptoms, and stories emerged from elliptic medical experiments. I think that's when they're grabbing their brain grabs. Although claiming that more than 60,000 patients died, they are exaggerated according to surviving records from the hospital. Historians say the real number was closer to 8,000, with a total of 152 deaths in 1945, worst year for the epidemic. So that's way later too, 1945. So that holy shit, guys, we are literally in the middle of an epidemic, correct?
Yeah.
1910 to 1945. Like that was the height of the deaths. That was an epidemic. Yeah. Could you imagine if corona beer virus lasted like freaking, what is that, 30 years? Holy shit. That's I'm as old as that virus. Like, holy shit.
Well, speaking of, right underneath it, there's a video about the beer virus.
Oh no, yeah. So it's crazy because like if you look back at 1910, these viruses lasted that long, and it probably goes on longer because 1945.
We just didn't have the technology to cure anyone of anything.
Yeah.
Scurvy is cured by oranges.
What's up, Paul? He's like, this thing on? Yeah, it's just crazy to see, like, we've got all this medical treatment now, but it's still like different things are happening.
Yeah.
Oh, so the next one is Savannah, Georgia, which I go to Savannah a lot. And I've always wanted to do these ghost trips. Like I've done the like pirate one, but not at night. We'll probably do around like Halloween or something closer, because I kind of threw this in here because, you know, I knew a lot of them were going to have to do with asylums. So I was like, oh, it'll have to do with plagues and stuff like that. It'll kind of fit into the genre right now. But Savannah, Georgia has a ton of different spooky places to go to. And these are things I've always wanted to do with like a group of friends. And us all like go on these tours in the middle of the night. Because I used to do that in New York, but we never like recorded them. It was just like adventure. So I think it would be fun to do it for like the show. Held a human brain in 1995. It was medical. You were a medical rookie back then? I've held monkey brain. Does that count? I don't know if I held a monkey brain. Like it was a monkey brain.
Can you not make the fingers? No.
It was tiny. It was a little tiny monkey brain. Don't make the fingers. Home to a dozen of celebrated haunted houses and hundreds of ghost sightings, Savannah is often called the most haunted city in the United States. So in Savannah, Georgia, if anyone is not aware of Savannah, Georgia, I do work for a whole bunch of cons in like Georgia and North Carolina, South Carolina. But Savannah, Georgia has this amazing thing where you could literally take your alcoholic beverage and walk the streets of Savannah, Georgia. Did you know that? And not many places do that. How dare Crow have a stream during my stream that I schedule? Right? Asshole. He has a link to join if they finish. Actually, I usually, like for the Tuesday night streams, I usually send the stream out to a whole bunch of people. And if they join, they do. And if they don't, they don't. That's kind of how we plan the Tuesday night streams. I try to book the streams with people who are related to this content. So we might have like super surprise guests jump in. We'll see. let's see, especially by as many ghosts. So yeah, they have a lot of ghost tour operators who have to begin. So honestly, like what I was saying to this is that I think that a lot of people are just wasted in Savannah, Georgia, and they're like, I'm drunk and see ghosts. Yeah, Oro also has the link. He might jump in later on too. Yeah. So we'll see.
I'll be fair to Crow though, and Toy Bounty Hunters, because he is currently on with Toy Bounty Hunters. There's where Crow is at with Toy Bounty Hunters and Tipster. They're talking about the Susie Lou chick.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about that. So
yeah, mm-hmm. But that's where they are at currently talking about that. So that's what those guys are doing.
So if you guys are bored with haunted streams, it's totally okay if you'd rather do something like that. Like,
or go say hi to Crow. Tell Mama Crow to get better. He told us earlier she went to the ER. She's fine. But if you want to go say hi to him, wish Mama Crow well, go ahead.
She's taking care of the nest.
I love her. She's amazing.
I haven't ever talked to the Mama Crow. I just talked to the Lady Crow. Yeah. Like, I feel like I just realized Lady Crow is like on Twitter. Like,
yeah,
I suck.
Mama Crow is amazing. She is feisty.
She's feisty.
But yes. Anyway, continuing.
Oh, what's this one? 10 ghost stories that will haunt your life. Can I follow this link? Can we go here?
And then spam.
Like how cool this is. Like, wouldn't you like this in your house? Like my goth girl screams to this shit. Let's see. Ghost stories from Egypt. I'll put you know what? We'll go back. We'll remember this later because these are creepy pictures. Creepy. Someone said, oh, it was so funny because someone was linking, like, I guess they took King Tut, which I don't have that open because I just thought of that because they were showing Egypt stuff. King Tut was like removed from his gravesite, like I want to say like in December, and everyone's like, the plague is coming from King Tut. I hope the music is helping the vibe. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery in Chicago, Illinois. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery is a small cemetery in the forest on the outskirts of Chicago that has earned a reputation as the most haunted graveyard in the United States. So I'm assuming this is like the graveyards that we have in New York. In upstate New York, there's just, and if you're not used to country life, it's the weirdest thing. Like you'll be just driving and then all of a sudden there's like a little mini like family graveyard plot. Like out of nowhere. Like people just have them randomly in their backyard. Just like a random graveyard plot.
Well, didn't I like I think I heard something about how like there's certain graveyards that have different like sections.
Yes.
Like is that New York as well? Is that
so New York has a lot of that. Like New York has some really creepy graveyards.
Yeah. Because it's like, because I think, what was it? Because there's some movie I watched. I'm like, that is that a thing? Where it's like, where it was like, yeah, like all like the murderers and crazy people go here, and it's like, and I thought like, because it was like, I think it was like something about like dancing on your grave or something like that. I think that was the movie, and they were like, oh, you danced on the grave, and you just so happened to dance on the graves of murderers. Like, I was like, is that a thing that they had them in that one section? Because it's like.
Well, if you remember from our stream last week, it's illegal in Florida to walk on graves. Do you remember us talking about that?
Yeah.
So in New York, it's like a super superstition not to like dance on a grave or touch a grave or do any of that stuff. Like it's really like, it's a huge no-no. Like you'll be cursed forever. Sushi, you lived in upstate. I am actually from upstate New York. Yes. Like the Syracuse area, which is kind of central New York, but like we call it, people don't understand central. I don't fucking know. It's weird. But so they did, I think it was, I want to say post 1900s. If you weren't like claimed with a family, which they do a lot of that still, they just bury you and take care of you. But if you weren't claimed with a family and you were like a mobster or like an outlaw in the Wild West, they would put you in the killer side. Like those are the killers. So if you go to some of these older grave sites in like upstate New York or like really country, like obviously people came from New York from other countries. So it's an older established I guess, state, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those older states have these, and like Maine has a lot of them, and they do section off. Like they had a whole, like, if you go to like Salem, for example, you can go to the witch graveyard. Like you could, like, I've always dreamed of doing a trip to Salem with a group of friends, like during like Halloween, and just, it doesn't even have to be on Halloween, honestly, for me, like in October. I just want to do that trip. I'm actually planning a trip in October this year to New Orleans to do the vampire ball and stuff. So if that goes according to plan and, you know, we're not plague shut down still, hopefully I will be doing like a, I guess, what is it called when you do like the recorded video, like a vlog, right? That's the word.
Yeah.
Because I want to do all the haunted stuff there because we'll be going to the vampire ball. I would say, yeah, this is talking about the gangster style cars that appeared on the road in front of them before. So that's what Kayla was talking about, is like prior, I want to say like 1940s and under, when people literally, you could get away with killing people, like in the Wild Western days, you know what I mean? Like Wild West. They have those kind of graveyards. So let's see. Oh, here's New Orleans. This is just what we were talking about. Good segue. Good segue.
New Orleans.
In New Orleans. So I do plan on going here in October, and I actually signed up for a couple ghost tours, so hopefully like everything goes well. I love this shit. This is you guys are seeing like the actual goth side of Gothic Sushi, I guess. Paranormal has distinctive flavor in New Orleans. I like that they use that because I want to eat all the New Orleans food. Which vibes with the Savannah for the title of most haunted city in America. So they're like in competition. But I think New Orleans has the same. I think you can get, I don't know if it's certain times that you can drink, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if you can drink like in the city. I think there's certain, they cut it off at a time, but you can walk the streets with alcohol in hand. Let's see. St. Louis Cemetery, number one in New Orleans, has something of a reputation for the dead, not saying in their graves. Among them, Marie Laveau, the city's historical queen of voodoo.
Yeah, that was like the only thing I know of that is from like American Horror Story. So,
okay.
Voodoo Mistress.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to do New Orleans voodoo. I love that shit. Like, I am pagan. Pagan. Put that out there right now. Witchcraft. I have been known to dabble here or there. Not gonna lie. Like, I have burned sage when I'm stressed. When I was younger, I did do animal weird stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I won't even lie. Because I was very like, even now I'm Norwegian descent, so like I had that big Viking pagan like mindset when I was younger. Yeah, American Horror Story. I've only watched like one or two of them. I don't do well with horror stuff, but I love like paranormal shit. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, American Horror Story kind of goes into the paranormal stuff. Like the first season is, of course, about like probably one of the things that's going to pop up here is like this haunted house.
I do have the Stanley Hotel over here, which is going to be one of the last topics because most of these are topics that I like literally want to go to these places and visit or like hang out. And that's why I picked these topics, because these are all places like we could go visit. These aren't like, there might be one or two on here, like the closed down like amusement parks and stuff like that. One, technically, I don't feel like those are haunted. I think they're just like closed down. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like that's it's creepy because it's dead. Like there's nothing going on there, and it used to be a bustling place of life, but I don't like feel like it's like straight up like haunted. Yeah. Let's see. Who said to materialize above the crypt where she was buried each St. John, June 23rd. So originally I wanted to go to New Orleans in June, but they're having this big vampire ball in October. So plus the plague that's spreading, that's attacking the country.
That we might be in lockdown for like whoever knows how long. Supposedly
30 years.
Back to work pretty soon, but who knows?
Not 30 years, please. So Gettysburg. Okay, so these I've been here. This one I've been to.
I think I know what they're gonna do with this. It's weird though to me how they like list like places, because it's like, you mean the whole Gettysburg, Pennsylvania?
So I
But
think
they
this
do
is,
list a few things, it does seem, so.
yeah, so the largest and deadliest battle in American Civil War took place at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania in 1863. One of the big things we did when I was ghost hunting, when I was in upstate New York, we went to battlefields
Yeah.
all over. Like, and they all, like, some of the biggest paranormal activity stuff that I've been involved in has been from like battlefields. So, and it's also because when you have this situation, a lot of these places you can go camp at, and we'll do like a fire and tents and hang out all night, and then we get drunk, and then we're like, we've seen a ghost. So it's a very like, again, I feel like almost every single situation that I've been like really like, oh my god, I'm scared, has been like I was drunk. If that makes sense. More than 8,000 combatants were killed in Gettysburg, and in the year since Bloody Battle, uncommon number of ghost stories have been linked to events and personalities of Battlefield. Several visitors in New Gettysburg. If you live in the South or the North and you're like interested in exploring these places and get a like fine taste for old history, you can literally check out like a ton of these different battlefields. They're usually like a free open park, especially now that we are in lockdown stuff. It might be something that you can like go walk to and like do, because a lot of these are like open parks. They're
Unless
not
you're just not allowed to go outside.
well, and a lot of them aren't quote unquote parks. They're historic open areas. So these are giving you guys ideas. If you are allowed to go outside, don't go outside to explore these. Don't want you guys to get in trouble.
Yeah. Or if you have to walk around with like a face mask.
Yeah.
Required by law. They're gonna start strapping you in.
Oh, here. So I've been here too, St. Augustine, Florida. This is another pirate area. I've done a couple of the tours, but I've never done them at night. I have a goal to get like an Airbnb on the beach in St. Augustine and explore these at night, because they have the ghost tours at night. Again, this is like, it's weird because I do have a slight fear, and I'm like, I don't want to do these alone, so I have to have at least one friend go with me. The ghost of the original builder of St. Augustine Light Station is also said to haunt the garden besides the tower, roaming in fury after a land dispute with the city's government in the early 1880s. Additionally, the ghosts of at least 2 former lighthouse keepers are said to tread the steps and gantries of the tower at night. This reminds me of a fucking quest in fucking Skyrim. Oh no, it was Witcher. Witcher had like a similar quest to the lighthouse over here. Lighthouses are kind of the creepy vibe. Is there another page? Did we read it? Is that the top 7? That's their top 7.
I guess. That's disappointing. Luckily, you found the other article.
Oh, I found a whole bunch more. I wanted to stop with the most haunted sites. So that's the most haunted in America. So then we have the most 10, like the top 10 haunted sites in America. I brought these up to see if they collaborated and we could be like, oh, you're missing one. Oh, so here's a number 10, Portland, Oregon. I think that's Oregon, right?
I was gonna say just Or.
Or like, where's Or? Like, there's an Or for local haunted area, but it's a bit flooded and you may want a mask. Oh, that sounds spooky. It's flooded. You might want a mask.
Yeah.
There are several fault lines in Portland Or. We're going to call Portland Or. Which is also situated. Yeah, that's where I'm assuming. Yeah, Columbia River to make it perfect haunting grounds. Plus, there are a lot of history there. I think they tend to wrap haunted places with places that are strong history.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of how it is. Or like battlefields and everything like that. It's like war and then like murder and death.
Well, they say that like basically that's how like spirits are unrested, because it's usually you die in some kind of violent manner or something happens that you were taken away. Happy people don't usually come back from the dead.
Like,
that's what I'm told.
I lived. Like, I don't need to come back.
Like, I've never been told or like experienced like a spooky story where they're like, there was this loving wife who was so ready. She was like 93 and it was her time to go. She had the best life ever. Like, you don't hear that kind of
And then the
story.
ghost is just like in the kitchen, baking your cookies. No, that doesn't
Yeah.
happen.
They're like, hey, how are you today? I mean, I'm sure that kind of stuff, if there are ghosts, is out there because a lot of times they say that they didn't finish their task. But you don't hear about those stories. You're not going to be like, oh, this house is haunted because she's baking you cookies, like Kayla.
I mean, well, it's like I'm not gonna try to pronounce your name, but someone's saying some like ghosts come back to like save people in Pittsburgh. Like kind of like whisper in your ear, don't do it.
Like firefighters, and I have heard but that's usually I've heard those kind of stories like if there's a violent killing of a woman, like they call them the white woman ghost, or the white ghost is usually there. They'll sway people away from what their death is, because they're trying to help, because they were hurt in a situation and they're good ghosts. So I've heard of that kind of thing, but like still they were usually put in a bad situation and they're trying to protect you or someone from that. If that makes sense. San Francisco. I've heard before about San Francisco. Like that's again another heavily bustling area with a lot of rich culture and stuff involved. Portland has fault lines and water working in its ghostly favor. The Cameron House in Chinatown. Any place that's named Chinatown is going to have rich culture of ghosts and spooky stuff. Once a hiding place for immigrants to escape the brutality of the police, was burned down with people inside, and some say that they remain trapped there, even turning up in photographs now and again. That's one of the things I want to do. I want to go to these places and take some photographs and see if we can get any like glowing orbs.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you though. So, do you think like for some people though too, with these like haunted places, it's like there's usually the tie to such like a dark story or everything that it just gives people an unsettling feeling, because the imagery of like someone like like people like were burnt down in this building. So if you go visit the area, wouldn't you feel like, oh, this is like creepy? Like a lot of people died here.
I guess that makes sense. It's kind of like if you sell a house and like someone passed away in it, you have to list it, and people are like, oh no, someone died here. Or like even when I was saying about like the creepy like amusement parks, like nothing really happened there, but it just gives you that weird unsettling vibe.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. Once people's like nerves go on and or like you get like that spooky and you've already been hit with that, like you just start to like
or even if like you hear these other stories that go on, like someone's like, oh, I felt like go to some spooky place, my hair was like pulled here or something like that, or like, oh, I felt like a touch on my shoulder. Like, wouldn't you kind of have that in the back of your mind, kind of thinking, oh, that's what you're expecting?
Well, and that's okay. So like that kind of goes in, which I was going to talk about a little bit if it came up. I've done median stuff before. So usually if you're like a median, which I am a very crappy median, it's a natural born witch median thing. Like my grandmother used to do like read tarot cards and do like future readings. And I feel like maybe it's like natural. I do have like an ancestor, who was married, and she was a Native American who was killed in the Salem witch trials. She had her last name is Gunhild, which is that's a very Norwegian name, I know, but like she married my great grandfather. And she was killed in the Salem witch trials, but she was actually a Native American. And obviously she took his last name. And she was killed because she practiced medicine, which was witches back then. When you were like, oh, here's a healing herb to help your throat, you were a witch. But yeah, I think that's where it's weird because it's hard explaining it if people don't believe in it. And I only get like weird vibes because I've never sat down and been like, let me train myself, because there's really nothing you can do. You know what I mean? Like the only way for me to be taught how to understand that is if like I had a teacher, I guess, because I'll have like premonitions, like stupid things, like I'll be like, oh shit, I don't feel good about this situation, and then all of a sudden like something bad will happen in the future, you know what I mean? Like, or I'll have like a dream and then that is my reality. Like that stuff happens all the time. I cringed at the Supyo. Oh, Mr. X Comic said Supyo.
Oh,
Supyo. So I guess like being a median, I've had more experiences. And I think like you were saying, Kayla, if you're not open to an experience
yeah.
and you're very like, this isn't gonna happen, I don't think it will happen for somebody.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Peter Pan fairy syndrome. Like you have to believe to understand, or at least have like
Well,
a
I say like
notion.
hypnosis. Like, it's like, people who like don't believe it or kind of like against it or very like, high, like have to be in control. They can't be hypnotized just because they are not willing to let someone hypnotize them.
Exactly. If you are, and it's very like depending if you're like a strong-willed human, like you're not
Mm-hmm.
going to break that strong will,
Yeah.
basically. But I was in Vegas in November, and we went to the Haunted Museum.
Mm-hmm.
And you said hair pulled, and so when you go there, it's like a tour. It was fun. If anybody's in Vegas, definitely check out the Haunted Museum because they have a lot of like spooky artifacts. And I am like a huge, which maybe we'll do like in October, maybe we'll do like a whole spooky month. Spooky artifacts are some of my favorite things because I strongly believe, more so than locations at stuff, that like artifacts are like possessed or like cursed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Probably one of my one things. But when you go through the tour, they're like, oh, that's the basement. And they don't bring you in the basement. And I think like it's probably like where they have like a setup and whatever for like the museum. But it was weird. I kept like hearing a voice like whispering from the basement, which could have been just somebody down there. And then but like we're walking around and all of a sudden I literally felt like my head was yanked back. And I thought I caught my hair on like something. Like you're walking
Yeah.
and I like felt the wall, like if there was like a nail or something sticking out, there was nothing there. But it was like a total jerk and it like was a yank down into the basement. So that was like out of the things that happened at that location, like something wanted me to go in the basement. So when I talk about like median stuff, like that's the kind of vibe I get. I'll go down the basement and then I'll just hear like radio signals. Like it doesn't make any sense because I've never been like talked. Like if there is a way to train how to do this, I don't fucking know. Story.
Yeah.
But I'm very open, and it might be because I like practiced pagan. Like I've practiced paganism since I was 10. Like I have been a pagan since I was 10 years old. Like, so my idea of this stuff is very broad and open, I guess.
Yeah.
Versus somebody who's like, eh.
Who knows?
Right? So this is like Chicago, where gangsters and Confederate soldiers once roamed. So Chicago's like the most violent city in America too, right? So there's a lot of violence in Chicago. Like I think it's up there.
So. Yeah.
And I think it's like there's no guns allowed in Chicago, but it has like the #1 gun deaths.
I have never heard about that.
I'm gonna have to look that up because I think it's Chicago. Like it's like the #1 like violent crime death area, but like you're not allowed to have guns in the city. I've heard something. I'm pretty sure it's Chicago, and they have the most like. I'm not sure. So it makes sense that they would be haunted there. More everywhere. Like, have you noticed?
It's like handgun bans.
Oh yeah,
so handguns, which of course that you would be walking around with handguns. You're not going to be walking around with a shotgun or a rifle in the middle of Chicago. So
that's Texas.
So yes. Well, no, but I'm saying though, like they like there's like handguns are a no-no. They don't say anything about shotguns, but I don't think you're going to be walking around with a shotgun in Chicago. So
yeah,
that's probably just like there's probably like a huge like fine, of course, most definitely, even if you are just in Chicago in general. I think actually like I think a friend of mine was actually like he was stopped and searched. He had a pocket knife and they like, held him like for like 24 hours or whatever. Yeah. And it's like it's a pocket knife. Like, come on, this is the Midwest. Come on. Like,
that's crazy.
But it's like, oh, it's a weapon, and he did resist the search, so that probably didn't help him either. So
it never helps.
No, but like, still, that was a pocket knife. Like everyone has a pocket knife around here, pretty much. So
yeah, especially like you're in like country anywhere, like you carry a knife with you.
Yeah. So handgun bans. 2010. So for 10 years they've had that, but of course. Oh wait, hold on.
Does it say like it's...
Oh, here it is. Residents were required to obtain a Chicago firearms permit. So, and there's certain restrictions. So, there's gray. There's gray.
Yeah. So I keep seeing a trend, like all these places are several fault lines. Like all these places say this. Have you noticed that? Like since we've been going, as well as like Michigan, which makes it perfect corridor for paranormal activity. Gangsters used to like to dump the bodies here, and some say you can still hear screams from the Clark Street Bridge. Okay, so I've heard about this place before because that's where they like the whole story of putting like cinder blocks on victims' feet. The gangsters used to do that and drowned them in that lake.
Yeah,
like I've heard that story many times. Clark Street Bar near the site of the former warehouse where Capone's natural Valentine's Day massacre took place. That's right, the Valentine's Day massacre, said to be haunted there with over 6,000 Confederate soldiers buried. Again, drinking is involved. It's a bar.
We are in the Midwest over here.
That's true. Ain't much to do. So here's more. So like a lot of these southern places are supposedly like super haunted, with Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Charleston is one of those good old southern cities. Gotta get that southern on. If I'm around southern people, my southern comes out with a nice iced tea.
Best though.
Like it's funny, like if I'm in New York, I get like if I'm in Jersey, like it started coming out a little bit when Shadow was visiting because he does it a little bit, and I would get into like kind of the Jersey accent. I'm like, oh no, my New Yorker's coming out. So like I have this weird middle ground now where it's
so I'm trying to find like most like violent cities. So actually, like apparently, technically, I guess the most violent is St. Louis, Missouri.
What?
Yeah, I think they're factoring like crime rate, murders, like
Cheshire
all of that.
just said that. Cheshire is like St. Louis, Missouri, the place in America based on multiple stories. That's crazy.
So then like Detroit, Michigan, Beloit, Maryland. Stop it. And then Memphis, Tennessee.
How do you say New Orleans? New Orleans? Or is it New Orleans?
New Orleans. I think
that's how they could tell, like, if you're a visitor. New Orleans.
I think I say it different ways depending on like the sentence. There's certain words I say depending on sentences. Like it's like if it's like New Orleans or New Orleans.
I do the same.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's like then Kansas, Missouri is number 5.
Wow.
Number 7, like I'm saying this because like I'm in the state of Wisconsin, but Milwaukee. Milwaukee is pretty bad. Like even people from Milwaukee say Milwaukee's bad. So Milwaukee. So weirdly enough, like Chicago isn't on this list that I'm like looking at. I'm at like 15. It's not
well, and I remember that being like years ago, like before I moved to Florida too.
Minneapolis, hell no. And then Chicago is 21.
So someone told me like the owner of the cons was like, Savannah, Georgia's the #1 murder spot in the world. I'm like, maybe because they're just drunk assholes. Like, but I haven't ever seen it. Bad Dragonite says, I'm in the South, paranormal shit. I think he's supposed to say shit there. Shit follows me around. It's really annoying too because I say anything, most people don't believe me. Really believe you. It doesn't really bother me though. So Bad Dragonite. So that is kind of what I was trying to explain earlier. Usually if you have that kind of stuff happen to you, you should look into like even if it's just YouTube stuff or like trying to get an idea of what a median is. There's a good possibility that you could be a born natural median if that happens to you, which is kind of what I'm trying to explain, like is kind of what goes on with me. But I am very open and I see things in the gray and I'm like, well, I was kind of drunk that night. So, or like Kayla was saying, like I've seen like 3 horror movies and then I went out and like explored a spooky place and was like, things are happening.
Oh, I had that when I was like, after I saw that movie, A Quiet Place. And then it's like, I was like going from like my car to like my apartment and there's like a wooded area. And I'm like, nope. It's like, it was just dead quiet. So terrible, awful. It was like around midnight too. And I'm just like,
almost witching hour, 3 a.m. witching hour. 3 a.m. If you're ever, that's a good thing to put out there too. If it's like around between the hours of 2 and 4 a.m., 3 a.m. is usually right around the dot between like 2:45, 3:15. That is the number one time that ghost travel. It's not 12 at night. It's not anything. It's weird. 3 a.m. is witching hour, which is weird. And every time that I have an unexplainable paranormal activity thing, it's always been within 2 a.m. and like 3:30 every single time. Yeah. So that is like a continuous thing that happens. Oh, this is the first one that's doubled up is St. Augustine, Florida, by the way. That lighthouse. I've been in this lighthouse. It's actually a lot of fun, like going on this trip. It's really pretty. One of the Airbnbs I want to go to is actually right next to this lighthouse. And there's like because I do photos, because I do photography sometimes. And there's like a bridge outside, like obviously lighthouses have that like bridge that you can walk out on. And if you do it, well, you have to go there like 5 a.m. because it's sun rises in the east or whatever. But you could, if you walk on that and you get the picture the right way, it just looks like you're walking out on water during the sunlight or the sun, like the sun rising, and it's really pretty. Which is funny because I'm drinking sunsets tonight in my little haunted cup. And we already went over that one. San Antonio, Texas. I was wondering if San Antonio was going to be on one of these lists. Wait, that's not, San Antonio. Let's see. After St. Augustine, San Antonio is the oldest city in the U.S. and ghost stories have been floating around for hundreds of years. This is a lot of the famous fights between Mexico and America, right? Mm-hmm. I don't really drink, and other people see it when they're around me. So if other people are seeing these things happen around you, Bad Dragonite, that's another hey, I might be a median if this happens, because basically a median is a magnet, and this is what I was told in the very little median training I've had, which is why they'll take a median on like a ghost hunt or like a paranormal activity investigation, because basically you're a giant magnet of energy for paranormal activity. So basically, in like normal people talk, ghosts can easily like control you or get inside of you to manifest. So that's part of being a medium. So they use your energy to manifest where they can't really get that from other people. So there's a whole bunch of stuff on that, which we could talk about some other day. New Orleans, which I would 100% put that on there. Oh, look, this one has Salem. Why on the fucking planet didn't the other place have Salem?
Who knows? Salem, like that one was too cliche.
Maybe, but Salem is the home of the Salem witch trials. Mm-hmm. Everybody's heard about the Salem witch trials. It was horrible, and being pagan background. This is where they locked my people of my religion up in our churches and burnt them alive for believing in multiple gods. So like women and children and everything, just the Christians locked them up and just burnt them in Christian churches. Like is bad. Christians have actually killed more people than any other war or anything, I believe, like, because it dates back forever. No offense if you're Christian. Famous for its witch trials in the 1600s, Salem is thought to be haunted by the spirits of 19 witches who were put to death for their alleged crimes. Some say their spirits linger in the hills, the site of their execution, while others roam somewhere. The spirit of Bridget Bishop is said to haunt, like, I can't pronounce these old school words. Bar and grill. Look, it's a bar and grill. They haunt this bar and grill. Come get some chicken wings and a ghost.
And a ghost.
Where she used to own an apple orchard, and the spirit of the farmer, also accused of witchcraft, is said to haunt a street cemetery. A lot of my ghost hunter friends have done the trip to Salem, and they say it is definitely one of the most heavily active places. But when you get into that witchcraft, that goes into the whole like objects are haunted to me versus places, I guess. Can't deny the truth. I will fight for a headless horseman with a sword. We went over Gettysburg. That one was on the list. Savannah, Georgia. It says number 1. Savannah, Georgia.
Everyone has different opinions.
Yeah, so Savannah, Georgia is supposed to be like St. Augustine, where there was a lot of pirate activity and like I heard a story that like Savannah, Georgia fought off the pirates from destroying the city because they got them severely drunk and fucking hammered, and then the pirates made friends with everybody. Like that is the story. Like I'll have to get it. But like the story of Savannah is like that. Like they came and they drunk the pirates silly for like 6 days, which is why they keep why alcohol will like is supposed to be always like legal in on the island because it supposedly stopped the pirates from burning down the city.
In case of pirates, bring out the booze.
Yeah. Savannah is one of the cities of American Institute of. There's another weird word, parapopsicology.
Parapopsicles?
Parapopsicles, parapopsicles gets the most reports about. It has that perfect combination of deep history and a lot of underground water. What is with the water? Don't
There's
drink
something in the water.
Those faults, they got that creepy water that make it perfect place to stick around. The McCurra House was the home of Jim Williams, a voodoo practicing antiques dealer, and the main character in Midnight and the Garden of Good and Evil. I never seen that movie. The home is said to be haunted by the man he allegedly killed in a heated argument, though he was acquitted in the threes. Again, voodoo is very like witchcrafty stuff. I believe in that shit hardcore. Like I've seen it. I've seen some crazy shit. So that's our 10. Now this one's long. History behind 40 of the most haunted places in America.
All
so
right.
this one's good because it's going to give us some history. It's not. I browsed through this one, and this one looks like, oh no, thank you. This one like is going to give us more of like an inside look in the hospitals and things like that, and that's kind of why I kept this one up. Will you go away, you fucking ad? Nobody wants your shit. What is with this giant? Thank you. Like it's like huge. Like did you just cover up half the fucking screen?
They want you to buy their stuff. Movies are in need right now. They are not in the cinemas.
They're like, buy our stuff. Ooh, my drink is almost gone.
That's why I got 2.
I might, before we start on this,
yeah,
I'm going to refill this drink, but what is the most scariest place you and chat have been to? Like, have you been to like any of the insane asylums or anything like that? I'm trying to finish the last sips. Look, I'm a lightweight. 33rd%. Have you been to like any super scary spots that are like on any of these lists? Have you been to any of these?
Nope.
You haven't been to one yet? I'm up 3. So 3 points to Griffith or to Hufflepuff. What are you? What class are you in Harry Potter? Since we're talking about witchcraft and witchery, do you have a class?
Sorry, say again.
Do you have a class on Harry Potter?
What do you mean?
What is your class? Do you not watch Harry Potter?
What house? I didn't know what class. Like,
well, I meant like house.
What, like house. Yeah, like class, like potions.
Wizard and witchcraftery.
Obviously I'm Slytherin.
I was gonna say you fucking Slytherin. So I'm a Hufflepuff. What are you guys?
You said Hufflepuff or something about Hufflepuff earlier. I'm like, oh, okay.
So every Slytherin needs their Hufflepuff because Hufflepuffs are mostly Slytherin. We just have the sarcasm behind us. So we'll go. I don't know if you can see this. America's most creepiest. All right, down here. Here we go. Eastern State Penitentiary. See, this one's going to talk about the actual penitentiary and stuff. If you want to go over this, I think you can you see that, Kayla, on your screen or no? Is it too small? Can you read that?
I can see it.
Do you want to go over
which part?
This is going over the
just like the start of
penitentiary.
During its heyday.
I'll be right back. You go over that. Yeah.
Oh no, she has me in control. I'm not in control. Ugh.
Okay. Do you need it big?
That's fine. I can read it.
I'll be right back.
Cool. As she makes the drinky drink, I will read the things. During its heyday, Eastern State Penitentiary was one of the most expensive and well-known prisons in the world. It was built in 1829 and housed big-name criminals like Al Capone and bank robber Slick Weil. Who is Slick Weil? Anyone know either of these individuals? I've heard of Al Capone, obviously. Knock off first into but yeah, so let me see. I was like, okay. Up until overcrowding became a problem in 1913, prisons were kept in complete solitude and at all times. Even when prisoners left their cell, a guard would cover their head so they couldn't see and no one could see them. I don't know why that's a thing. Why would that be a thing? Oh yeah, Slick who? I don't know who Slick is. Slick is so slick we don't even know who he is. And ain't nobody know about Slick. Pimp named Slick back, maybe. I don't know though. But I don't know why they would need their heads covered because of overcrowding. I don't get it. But today, the decaying penitentiary offers ghost tours and a museum. Shadowy figures, laughter. I don't know why anyone would be laughing in there. And footsteps have all been reported as paranormal activity within the prison walls. Why would anyone be laughing in a prison? That's my question. Like I've heard like the little like kid.
I heard laughing.
Yeah, so apparently in this like thing, like so like in this jail, one like the reported things are shadowy figures, laughter, and footsteps. I don't know why people would be laughing in a jail.
Yeah, that's usually something like when I hear when it's like children die.
I was gonna mention that. It's like usually there's like children somewhere. Like if there's like a hospital and it's like, oh, in like the children's ward, like that's where I'd hear it. But this is a jail. And there's also a part here where they were like saying how like apparently like when they took like the prisoners out, they'd cover their heads. I don't know why.
Oh, I made that drink strong.
Too late now.
Go big or go home. Well, like usually if they cover their heads, that's usually like a sign of like getting shot, right? Like you know, when
I don't know. Well, it's like it was saying here that's like something like they were like talking about overcrowding, and then like whenever they'd take the prisoners out, like they left their cell, guard would cover their heads so they couldn't see and no one would see them.
That's weird.
I don't know. I don't know if that's like trying to hint, but it's like why hint at this point? Why not just say, yeah, no, they would just kill people. Like, because they said overcrowding.
Yeah. I mean, if they're bad enough. I mean, this place looks cool though. Like I would go there and take pictures and hang out. I don't know why I say hang out. Like I'm gonna like just gonna
chillax,
sit there,
just go into cell, like and just like hang out, chill.
Right.
Bring like a snack.
Here's a Mississippi one. We haven't heard about Mississippi. This is a tavern. Built in 1700s. King's Tavern is one of the oldest buildings in the state. The restaurant and bar has a rich, somewhat disturbing history. A man named Richard King bought the building years after it was constructed. The story goes that he hired a young girl named Madeline to be a waitress and then had an affair with her when King's wife... Scandalous!
Oh my God.
When King's wife found out, she had the girl killed. Look, rule number one, if your husband's cheating on you and the girl doesn't know, you beat up your husband. If she does know, you beat up the girl. So obviously she knew he was married. It's said that Madeline's spirit now haunts the tavern. Usually with something like that, that means they were probably killed in the tavern. Usually like if it's a spirit that's stuck, they're usually stuck to the area because that's like where they were brutally destroyed. Then in 1930, 3 mummified bodies were found in the tavern's chimney. What? More death than just the girl. So they found 3 bodies in this tavern's chimney. Could you imagine being that chimney sweep? Like, hey. Like, this is in the 1930s. So I feel like anything after 1950, 1960 is like, whoa. But like 1930s, I'm like, just an average day.
Oh, and then I saw earlier, apparently putting the covering their heads was like a form of torture. Someone said in the chat. So
I was thinking maybe if it was like when they were doing the brain grabbies and they had like cuts and they were like pulling stuff and they didn't want other people to see them. Maybe I don't know. Some say that these are the bodies of those murdered by Harp's brothers, who are often referred to as America's first serial killers. Harp's brother was known customers at the restaurant. Today, visitors to the restaurant report heat coming from the fireplace even when it's not lit. Shadowy figures door. So that's weird because a lot of times you don't feel heat. Heat is a very weird feeling in ghosty stuff. It's usually like ice cold.
Yeah. I was also going to make a joke about it not being lit. Not. I'm terrible. People died. I need to behave.
People, it's 1930s. Anyone who dies before the 1960s, it was natural causes to me. Even if they got shot. Like they had like gangsters and people just running around with guns and shooting people.
Making a lit joke.
I'm gonna get lit after drinking these 2 giant coffee mugs. This place doesn't look like it'd be haunted. This place looks like some cool,
that looks
like
really nice,
right? Like this is in California, but it doesn't look like
it is, and that's in California. How can it be that green in California?
Right? Like this doesn't look like it would be haunted.
Manicured.
This looks like somewhere I would like go stay the night and just like get a room. Like this place looks cool as shit. Sarah Winchester. Oh, is this like what's that show with the Winchesters?
I have no clue.
With the brothers. Someone's gonna say it in chat.
I have no clue. Somebody say it.
Someone say it with the Winchester brothers. And the pentagram thing. Supernatural. There we go. Origami. Hey. Oh, he's in here.
He knows.
Oh, I just seen him down there. I seen him in chat. I was like, oh, I'll bring this motherfucker in. He's not even listening. He's in here now.
I'm here. Hey.
I'm here. Oh, Aura came.
No, I've been here.
Oh, I didn't pay because it was black, so I just thought it was like the extra screen.
I was gonna say you didn't tell me.
That's pretty rude because it's black. You didn't pay attention to me. On the spot live. Keep going. Don't let me interrupt you.
This is just me blinking at you.
Hugs. Come on. Don't be mad.
I'm not giving you any more big brother gifts or little brother gifts.
I'm still going to make you your thumbnails, though. That's okay.
Aww. Let's see. This beautiful location, Sarah Winchester commissioned the building after her mystery house in 1886. Her husband, gun Margaret William Winchester. That's a lot. That's a long name. Look at that name. That is a name.
Mm-hmm.
Died of tuberculosis. Words. That was the plague of what we said the date earlier. It was that plague lasted over 30 years. Aura, how crazy! We seen something and
learned.
Yeah, we learned. We're learning things. So that was, and we don't even know if that was the ending. It was probably like 30, 40 years that was a massive plague. And her infant daughter died shortly after. She was told by a medium, not making up that word.
Well, no.
It's always weird because I'm like, really? We're mediums. Like, there's no like cool words. It's like you're in the middle of the middle. I don't know. I wish it was a cooler word. I want to be like supernatural ghost absorber. I don't know. I want a better word.
Ghost absorber.
Ghost absorber. That she would forever be haunted by the ghost of those killed with Winchester rifles unless she started building nonstop. Sarah used the money she inherited from her husband's death to employ 16 carpenters who worked 24 hours a day until her death in 1922, resulting in a bizarre house that at its peak had a total of 200 rooms, 10,000 windows, and 2,000 trapdoors, regular doors, and spy holes, with staircases leading to ceilings, windows leading to secret passageways, and doors opening into walls. The house was built to be haunted, and Sarah lived in it completely alone. One lady lived in this fucking house. That's insane.
And she haunts the whole thing.
Yeah, it's weird. They told her that it was going to be haunted, and when she died, she haunted that shit. Board Bed and Breakfast, Fall River, Massachusetts. That place looks creepy. Look at that fucking picture. I would not stay at that bed and breakfast. Who in this fucking chat would stay? That place is creepy. Like, nope. Now a museum and bed and breakfast. Like, those two words should never go together. I'm gonna stay at this bed and breakfast museum.
But like bed and breakfast museum. Okay, I was about to say it's like you want to stay at like haunted like places or haunted BRBs, whatever the fuck.
I'm going there to stay there. Like, but I'm not gonna sell it as a bed and breakfast. You know what I mean? You
don't want like brunch with the ghosties.
Well, it's like, okay, it's almost like if you're trying to sell your house to like people, like, and someone died in it, right? They're like, well, this is a beautiful house. And then someone who's like a goth person is like, I'm looking for a goth, like, it's haunted house. They're like, well, someone died here. Like,
somebody died in my house, the one I live in.
Was it your childhood?
No, it's a real person. It's the previous owner. Died on the porch.
Like, do you know how?
Heart attack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you had any paranormal activities, Aura?
A few years ago. Let's talk about that some other time.
Bum, bum, bum. If it's not good enough for the paranormal experience episode, I don't know what to tell you guys. Rio Grande.
Is this a story you told me before?
Probably. Yeah, okay. Probably. Yeah.
You get a free poltergeist if you stay there. Here's one, Utah. We haven't heard about that. The Rio Grande. I've heard that place has been spooky. It's a spooky place. It's on the spooky. Oh, Grand Cafe. Like, these are the things that always like mess with me. Like, oh, we're haunted, but you can stay at the Grand Cafe. Like,
it's for tourism, really. Like,
right?
They just want you to go see that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I like to. I skip over these like tourism ones. Oh, so this is cool as shit because this is the inside of the lighthouse. When you look down the staircase to get up in St. Augustine, because you can go there and like check out the lighthouse. It's really neat looking. Like, I didn't explain it, but they have this really cool spiral staircase to get all the way up to the top.
It looks like work.
It does. It looks like we went over the St. Augustine. Let's see. Francisville, Louisiana. Louisiana again. So many places in Louisiana. I'm looking so forward to October so I could go. Like, this year, I kind of like stepped back from doing conventions as like a cosplayer, and I'm putting my money more into like traveling to go see like cool places like this. Let's see. Crystal, commonly known as one of America's most haunted homes, the Myrtles Plantation started off as a working mansion during the late 18th and early 19th century. Anything that is that time that says plantation and working and mansion, that means there's a lot of spooky. Because that's back in those times when you could just if you didn't listen to massa, you gonna get dead. That's what happened back then. That's why it's so fucking horrible. This is an extravagant example of the grandeur that characterizes plantations during that time period. The French chandelier in the mansion's foyer is baccarat crystal and weighs over 300 pounds. Today, it's a bed and breakfast. God damn it. I actually would stay at this bed and breakfast.
See, now you want to now you want to have breakfast.
I don't want the picture to look like this, though. I'm not staying at that bed and breakfast.
Well, like a lot of the bed and breakfast, there's only like a certain hallway that's like haunted, so you could stay in your room and nothing could happen, you know?
Just to just stay to that hallway.
I just feel like bed and breakfast is such a sell at like, this is a little home buddy lady shop.
Yeah, like that, or you can pay extra to stay in the haunted room and something might not happen.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we got scary places over here. You should go to that asylum in Seminole. That place is scary.
Well, that's what I was telling you. I don't want to go by myself.
You want to go? I've been in. I busted in.
Yes, I will bust in any fucking scary place.
There's a beam on the side. Yeah, it's abandoned. You have to break in.
Those are the good shits right there. Can we do a video? Let's record.
You look so disappointed.
You broke in.
We do hood rat shit.
No, like there's nothing there to take. I just went in to see it.
But you
right? So the first haunted place I ever broke into was
Never mind sushi. I don't want to go anymore.
That hurts my feelings. Brother, we go break into things and do hood rat shit.
No, I don't want to anymore.
The first place I ever broke into that was an insane asylum type thing was the place where they convicted Charles Manson in upstate New York, in Rome. Creepy fucking shit. Let me tell you, we walked in.
You can go with sushi. I have to give permission.
Yay! I want you to come here so we can do like the haunted tour.
She would never go. She would never go to that.
She wouldn't go on the haunted tour for a weekend with us? Oh,
would you?
It's a trip.
I wouldn't.
I didn't think you would. You don't like to come see gators with me and stuff.
That's because like that's physical things that could harm me.
Fine.
Well, I was gonna say they're behind cages, but they're really not. They're like out in the open.
Not where he wants to go.
I fed an alligator a Slim Jim on Alligator Alley once, and he was very mad at me.
Man, I threw a Dorito at an alligator so he would eat it. And he just hit it. He was like, "Oh shit!"
No, there was a little gator. It was probably the size.
Dorito? What kind of Dorito?
Yeah, what flavor did you try to feed it? Maybe
Cool Ranch, the only kind of Dorito.
But he might not like that, or she.
It might have been a cheesy ranch.
I think it was a he because he was making those duck noises when they're trying to mate. That's probably why he was mad. Now that I'm thinking about it.
So there was a little gator like by this gas station. Like I want to say like when I first moved to Florida, and I was like second trip to Miami. I got like a big Slim Jim and I like slapped it in the face, and then it bit it, and I cried and like ran away as fast as I could and screamed. And I was like, what the fuck were you expecting? Like, obviously the gator is not going to be okay with you doing that.
No.
Oh, the Aura Sushi Ghost Adventures. Suplex the gator. Gator suplex.
Oh my gosh.
No one's bought me the inflatable gator on my wish list, by the way. I'm very disappointed. No lewd gator content for any of you.
Damn.
Rumor has it this house was built on top of a formal burial ground, and throughout the years, there have been numerous ghost sightings, the most well-known being Chloe, who was allegedly a former slave in the plantation. Oh, it said the word. That's why that plantations, mansion, early 19th century, 18th, that's what the ghosties are right there.
No, yeah, everyone should know that though. So
right, legend of surrounding Cloveberry, but most say she's poisoned by the plantation owners, 2 children, and was then hung by her fellow slaves. Chloe is said to have appeared as an apparition in the photograph taken by the plantation's properties in 1922. So that is like why I keep going back to like anything that's 18th, 19th century. Like it was legal to hang your slaves in your fucking backyard. Like that's how disgusting that is. Like that's the reason why like I'm like, oh, it was just so fucking normal for that trash. Like, oh, you took my $5 gunshot to the head.
I don't even know if it was even $5.
No, yeah.
$5 from like $500 billion back then. Yeah, now that I think about it. Ohio State Reformatory, Mansfield, Ohio. Look how cool that place is. I want to go to these places that look like this without a tour. Like this looks like there's someone just like touring and is like hanging out. I want to do what Aura was mentioning it, and we like
that railing looks infected.
You want to just break into mental like asylums that are abandoned? I'm down.
That's the shit that's actually haunted. Like, oh, here's our paid guided tour. I don't want a paid guided tour. I want to fucking get lost and fucking possessed and spooky shit.
I'm down. It's
right here. I'm not even going to read this. Tour guides and visitors alike. We're skipping that one. Here's the New Orleans mansion. This is on my list of things to visit when I go to New Orleans. Named after his man, Davine. This is the voodoo one. We kind of went over that one before. Oh, that's a creepy bit. Look at this picture.
I mean, yeah, you go to the haunty spooky place, you get a free bath. I think that's one of those like. I think that's one like
the ice baths.
I don't know about ice baths, or it's like where like patients would like have to take baths in that they'd like make them stay in the baths. I'm not sure if that's what that is. I feel like I've seen that somewhere.
Well, back in like the 18th, 19th century, that's how they would like cure fevers. because you were hot. So they put you in the ice, which made your fever worse. Originally built as a place of healing, which they usually are. The Trans-Atlantic Lunatic Asylum welcomed its first patients in 1864. The building, which is largest hand-cut stone masonry built in North America, was built to house 250 people. At its peak in 1950, the asylum was home to 2,000 patients. Oh, it was only built for 250 people. It housed 2,400.
That's not how math works.
That is not mathy at all. Patients, many of whom endured lobotomies. That's the grabby brain word.
Yes, that's what you're trying to say.
Is the grabby brain word, and I couldn't remember his lobotomies and electroshock therapy. Grabby brains, brain grabbies. Mental health reforms the building. Poor condition caused the asylum to close in If the asylum closes in 1994, like,
I was a fetus.
That's how long that fucking asylum was open. 1864 to that's so long. Like,
what you giggling about, fool?
Because I'm drunk and I'm like, that's so long.
Freaking out about this song. That fucking asylum's been open forever.
Because, like, when I see the word lobotomy and electric shock therapy, I feel like those shits were closed down in like the 60s. Like, there can't be no more of this shit.
No, they were popular to get.
They were popular.
Yeah.
No, celebrities wanted them.
Yeah,
celebrities wanted them.
Why? Why would you want brain grabbies?
Because lobotomies were supposed to make you like very calm. You know, you would never get angry or stressed ever again. And then you would just like slowly be like a human robot.
So it's like a permanent drug. Ugh.
Sort of. It kind of destroyed you. You know, you're destroying a piece of your brain. So
yeah.
Long Beach, California. I don't hear too many like super spooky California places.
It's too bougie.
Right? Like, I don't even want to read this one. I
Even
feel
the
like
ghosties are like, I don't want to haunt this place anymore. I'm
like,
getting
these
out.
people are weird. It's time for us to retire and go to where we need to be. Let's see. Dock Street Theater in downtown Charleston. I've been here. I'm up to 4. I've been to 4 of these places. Is one of the oldest theaters in America after a brief. You know what? This is kind of funny because I feel like old theaters are like creepy as fuck. Like asylum-y. Like not asylum-y, but like creepy. Like there's weird vibes there. Like you were talking about earlier where it just gives that feeling. Yeah. Old theaters, man. Ooh, this first one I've heard. Hotel Montana Vista, Flagstaff, Arizona. I've never really been. I've been through Arizona. I haven't really been to Arizona. Fosroe. I'm reading what they say in chat. Shut up. It says Fosroe.
Sounds like a Harry Potter spell. Like whatever.
What class are you, Aura? Or house are you in Harry Potter?
Gryffindor.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, look, we are the team right now. Gryffindor, Slytherin,
now has to be Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
Well, duh, he's a crow.
He better be. I'm just
saying.
If he
isn't a Ravenclaw, he got to get out of here. He can't be called Crow anymore.
No.
Like, that's his cousin. That's why we drink, guys. I drink a lot tonight. We're gonna Overwatch stream after this. It's gonna be like this creepy stream, and it's gonna be like, "Fuck you, motherfuckers! Die!"
Behave yourself.
Greensville, South. There's a lot of South Carolina. Oldest bridge, also believed to be many particularly spooky spot. The bridge in which was built completely out of stone in 1820 is rumored to be home of multiple ghosts. The story of the mason who died while building the bridge. His body is allegedly entombed inside of it. Then there's a man who died here in a car accident in the 50s and a slave who was lynched near the bridge. Well, it doesn't say if he died. Did he die from the lynching? Like, you don't always die from lynchings.
I think he's not doing too well.
I mean, he was from the 1950s. I'm pretty sure
he's no longer in existence. I'm guessing.
How dare you call my Yee Shouts Harry Potter shit, Aura?
Just saying. sounds like Harry Potter. I didn't say it was Harry Potter. I said sounds.
Let's see. Baltimore, Maryland, as Kayla would say.
Shush. I said Maryland as well. Maryland, Maryland.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's like New Orleans and New Orleans.
It's how I remembered how to spell it as a child. Leave me alone. Maryland.
Guests have reported feeling unstable hands touch, invisible hands touch them. Ooh, lewd. In the elevator. But the 19th floor is said to be particularly haunted. That's where I want to stay, right there at 19th floor. The elevators go to the 19th floor when no one has pressed the button to send them there. And according to some, the ghost of a little girl who is said to have committed suicide in the hotel frequents the hall. How old is said little girl? Like, is this like a 17, 18-year-old little girl? Is this like a fucking 6-year-old girl who's committed suicide or something insane? Like, that's creepy. Portland, Oregon. There's a lot of places in Portland. Actually, Portland is on my like spooky checklist. I want to go visit. Spooky checklist. Skip down. Those who have stopped by the mansion have reported some puzzling occurrences. Some say they smell flowers. Georgina was an avid gardener and rooms that have none, and others say that childhood painting of Henry moves around in the house on its own. So that is the shit I super believe in, is fucking like that painting's haunted. Does that make sense? Like, I believe in objects being haunted more than places, I guess. Like, some places obviously, but I feel like there's some shit that will fuck you forever if you don't get rid of it. Like get rid of those creepy things. Like, I've had things that were haunted and like given them away, and they've showed up back at my house, and I've been like, oh no, and then I burnt them.
You just gave them away. You can have it. Like,
I give them to people I don't like.
Yeah, that's why they came back to you. It's like, oh my god.
Shut up, Aura.
I'll never accept a gift from you ever, Sushi. You can have it.
I bought a Ouija board from a fucking garage sale because I had weird vibes about it. Never do that because it fucked with me for many years so a lot of times with like objects like that, you can't just give them away or they will come back for you. But you can sell them or like offer them, and if someone accepts them, usually if they're accepted and you don't, my problem is I would just leave it at their house and be like, that's yours now. But they have to accept it for it to like stay with them. Let's see. Waverly Hills was its own community compliant with a zip code, post office, and water retrieve. What with the water?
More water. In the water.
Everyone in the sanatorium, patients, nurses, doctors, were cut off from the outside world. It was closed in 1961 after an antibiotic that cured the tuberculosis. That word again was discovered.
Tuberculosis.
That word. So this place this was like the island where they sent the bubonic plague people, but it was like a locked up hospital. What's up, Toy Bounty Hunter? We're talking about spooky, scary stuff.
Do you want to join us for spooky, scary stuff for a bit? Because I think we might stop in a little bit.
Yeah, we're almost done. Anybody, if you guys got a link, join the things.
Let me send it to him.
Yeah.
Give him a link. See if he wants to jump in. And we got a few more.
And then you jump in, Toy Bounty Hunter.
We got one tab after this, and that's it. We're almost finished.
Mm-hmm. I think this one was a long one though, too, wasn't it?
This was my filler.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like a place with its own zip code, post office, everything. They weren't allowed to leave. Holy shit, look at this place in London. I want to go there.
It's a lodge lighthouse. Ooh.
Look how cool that place is. That place looks cool as shit.
Oh, he's eating. He is a busy man.
He's like, I have to eat the food. I sent Crow a link.
Your stream earlier was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a good stream.
Him and Crow was streaming. They did pretty good.
They did like actual fun and stuff, and we're doing like creepy, spooky stuff.
Yeah. Well, they like did like eventful, thought-provoking things. We're like ghosts.
We're like ghosts and spooky, deathy things. I felt like a lot of this had to do with like the plague stuff. Like a lot of these things are like spooky plague things, so that's the reason why I kind of went off this. The spirit of former keeper named Aaron is said to haunt the building with reports of doors opening and closing. Radios turn themselves. I think I've heard about this place. If you dare tour for during the summer, I think I've heard about this place, or not this one. There's a couple in London that are on my like spooky places to visit list, which is like a prison that was on like an island. Do you guys know where I'm talking about?
I think so.
And they like literally people just went there and died. They never let prisoners out of that island. Like it was insane. I also want to do the bubonic plague island that you're not allowed to visit. I want to get a boat and just go. Appreciate the invite though. Oh, no problem. All the invites to the people that this article to talk about.
Yeah, we're probably wrapping up.
We haven't done an Amityville or an Alcatraz. And look, I know those words. I've like researched if I can read those words. I'm like, oh no, I know those ones. Like, and those are like things I thought that this list would come on, and it hasn't yet. Yeah. We're not going to go on that one because that's our next topic. I'll skip that one. Alabama. Oh, this is like a what is this? This is historic national landmark. Essentially produce iron.
I was gonna say this is a horrible picture, whatever this is.
Right. So I always feel like weird vibes. I used to feel weird vibes when I used to go to like big, freaking like crazy like what's the word? Industrial building areas like this. Like they never really like they used to spook me. And then I went to Apollo Beach and they have like the salt or whatever mine thing where they do this shit. And it's like a nature sanctuary where they have like manatees and stuff. And now like they don't give me weird vibes at all because I went there. And
okay, I was gonna say because manatees.
Well, yeah, because those are my favorite animals. But like, I know I have the weirdest fucking favorite animal ever. Don't judge me. More California, like that place doesn't look spooky.
No, that's nice.
Victoria Home was
really
a hotel.
Cute color.
This like pretty pink.
Yeah.
Let's see. A woman named Mary Lake worked at the school and was said to be the senator's favorite, which is why she eventually became headmistress. The school was short-lived, though, and closed only 6 years after opening. Lake was distraught about the closing and left San Francisco shortly after. She since returned in the form of a ghost. See, that stuff I don't think like you can like be a ghost and then just decide to come back.
Yeah.
Like I don't think.
All right, I'm gonna haunt this place.
Yeah, like I like that place a lot, so now we're gonna haunt it. Like I don't think that's a thing. Where's this? This is in Hawaii. I did send Mikkel an invite, but again he ditched us. The second time, Mikkel. This one's in Hawaii. There's a couple of really good ones in Hawaii. Like any of that like that culture background stuff has some good ones. I cannot read that death. Or that name, that death. After Kalukawaka's death in 1891, his sister, Queen Leah Ukakugalekakikagale, took over both of the place and the kingdom until monarchy was overthrown. 2 years later, new government seized the palace and had Queen Leo Ukwakalani was a prisoner of her own former home. Today, the place is a museum. Visitors have reported seeing ghosts and hearing mystery music. We have music playing.
Mystery music.
Dude, that like center bar looks cool as shit in that picture. This place looks cool. This looks like something in Red Dead Redemption. State Hospital opened in 1848. Patients with illness such as schizophrenia, depression, hysteria, alcoholism.
I drank mine already.
Dementia and epilepsy were referred to as Indian Hospital for the Insane and was often accused of abusing patients, like most. Oh, that place looks cool as shit. Now a historical hotel and spa. I would stay here. Hotel and spa. Yes, please. Like you can't get me on the bed.
It was made 1930s, so it was a spa in the 1930s.
No, it's now a historical.
Oh, okay,
spa. I was gonna say you can't sell me on the bed and breakfast, but you could sell me on
the spa.
Ooh, spooky spa. Yes, please, thank you.
Like a demon just comes out of the mud bath.
What up?
Then in 1930, Norman G. Baker turned the hotel into an institute for cancer patients. Baker a millionaire from Iowa who was a former magician. What fucking line of work do you, and a radio broadcaster and an inventor claimed that he could cure cancer and that organized medicine was corrupt. In reality, though, Baker had absolutely no medical background.
He's one of those dudes that sells like snake oil or whatever it is.
Right. I was just gonna say that, or like the weird cultist that like cure all things, follow us.
Yeah.
Just like Chris Hansen, who sells the sanitizer that kills coronavirus.
Oh my god. Right? Like that's literally like what's going on. So then now it is like a spa. That's what he should have called it back in the 1930s. This is a medical spa. Then he wouldn't have got sued.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they had suing in the 30s. I don't think people got sued. They just got shot. Pine Barrens, New Jersey. I think I've been here before too. There's not one single landmark in Pine Barrens, New Jersey that hosts spirits and mysterious creatures. The forest spawns 7 countries and contains ghost towns galore. During the colonial era, the era bustling with sawmills, paper. Okay, so they have a lot of shit like this in Pennsylvania and upstate New York and stuff. So these are like the things I want to break into and go in. Like old sawmills and stuff. What? I see kangaroo. Let's read this.
I was gonna say like a wooded area. It's like I don't think you can break into a wooded area.
No, it's saying there's like abandoned sawmills, paper mills. Oh, okay. They're like abandoned in this like area, yeah, like the woods. Yeah. So that's one of the things in like New York and like Pennsylvania, because it's like a heavy, rich culture place. You could just be walking in the middle of the woods or like the Adirondacks, and all of a sudden there's just like an old fucking building.
Yeah.
It's just completely abandoned. No one owns it. It's insane. Like those are the cool things to go. Infamous Jersey Devil. So this is supposed to be the home of the infamous Jersey Devil, a beast that the Pineland Preservation Alliance describes as a kangaroo-like creature with the face of a horse and the head of a dog, bat-like wings and horns and tail. According to folklore, it was the 13th child of a woman named Deborah Leeds who offered it to the devil while pregnant with it in 1735. So we're even going past the 8. Oh, that's a long time ago. Upon its birth, the newborn sprouted talons, hooves, and wings and killed its mother's siblings and the midwife before disappearing. Sightings persist today, and it continues to terrorize livestock and humans. That's a fucking dragon. There's a fucking dragon that lives in fucking Jersey, and I'm just saying, it's a weird dragon. If it's been alive that long, and it's got wings and hooves and stuff, that's a fucking dragon beast. I'm just saying. Amityville. This is one of the first like big ones. I've been here too. I'm up 5. Amityville. What looks like an inviting suburban home was actually the scene of a mass murder in 1974. 23-year-old Roldan shot and killed with his whole family, his mother, father, 4 siblings while they were asleep in their house. Oh, there's a commercial. That scared the shit out of me. Like, hi guys, this is Marina. That was an awkward time for a commercial.
Weird.
We all know about Amityville. Let's see, Darkest Hotel, Austin, Texas. I'm surprised there's not more Texas stuff on here. Oh, this is the Shanghai tunnels in Portland, Oregon. This is another one I thought when we were talking about Oregon earlier they were going to talk about, and they didn't. Have you guys heard about these?
No.
So this is like I'll read it because it's going to say, but basically they like had like sex trade and stuff, and they like go all underneath the whole entire city, and people built them like secretly. Restless spirits of men who were dragged and trafficked in the city's ports during the early 19th century are said to haunt the underground tunnels through which they were reportedly sold. Legend has it that the local saloons contained entrances to the tunnels, enabling swindlers and prey suspected Patreons bring them directly underground before they even knew what was happening. This is like one of the top places on my list to go to. So supposedly these like tunnels are in like all the bars. Like every bar has like a trap door that's been around since then. So they used to get like drunk sailors, like sailors super drunk, then like take them through these underground bars, and they do it with like sex trade and stuff even like today supposedly, and they have like little cells like in these places, and it's very dangerous to go down there. because you could be abducted today in these creepy things. And like they have like cops and stuff that walk these things all the time, but it's like a super hard to navigate thing. Out of all the places, Portland, Oregon, like it's insane. Kansas cemetery. Cemeteries are always creepy. Detroit, Michigan. Where's this? Masonic Temple. Mining circus. Temples and like churches, I feel like get like creepy. Sometimes I feel like churches can be like way scarier. Like bad things
like
happen.
Really old buildings.
Washington. This is not Washington, D.C. This is just regular Washington. I don't know where that is. That place doesn't matter. Stephen King. Okay, that's why it sounds familiar. It's from Stephen King's miniseries Rose Red in 2002, The Haunted Mansion. What's this one? Fort Delaware, Delaware City. Fort Delaware was built in the Union Fortress Civil War. So this is more Civil War stuff. Origami, the internet butt ghost. That's what they just called you. That's rude.
You're a butt ghost now.
Let me do the thing.
The butt ghost. New Mexico. See, this is another nice looking building. Like it's always weird when they like turn the like spooky places and they like give them all like a big fresh polishing and make them look fancy. It's like they're trying to sell it or something.
You accept your butt ghost status, I see.
Is that the smiling butt ghost?
What else can I do?
Public library. Holes of I don't know words. Went to work for a library in California in 1954 and was killed in a car accident on her first day. Soon after, visitors to Hutchinson's library reported feeling cold spots, hearing footsteps, and even spotting her sorting books in the basement. She was known for being strict and old habits die hard. Her ghost has been known to confront new librarians to put them in their place. So that's another thing like I've heard ghosts do a lot. Like if you die when you start a new process in your life that you're very excited about, you get stuck doing that. And it's almost like, I'm sure you've seen like TV shows when people die and they continuously just relive the same day over and over and over. And that's kind of like another thing that people say could happen to you when you die. When you die, you literally relive that same day over and over and over again.
Limbo.
Yeah, like that's that limbo, and that's basically what ghosts do is they get stuck in that limbo. Look at this fucking sign. It's like they aren't even hiding it. They're like Iowa Axe Murder House, June 10th, 1912. They are selling that shit.
Yeah, literally.
More families, 6 members plus 2 house guests were brutally killed by an axe murderer who was never identified. Their restless spirits are said to still haunt the grounds to this day. Guests can visit this place. I don't know, like, so if I seen something like that, I wouldn't go. Like, unless it was like
a giant sign like that, or
yeah, that seems like they're tryhards. Like they're tryhards
too much to like advertise this place is haunted.
Trying to use that for those sales. Theater.
By the way, though, I'm looking at that ad on the corner over there. Ghost Tequila.
It's like they know what we're doing right now.
Well, obviously.
I did shit out of that Ghost Tequila, which had some
like the ads and all the cookies are like, you're looking at spooky stuff. Ooh, Ghost Tequila. I feel like now we have to like drink that in October.
Right? Why is this one's not loading? Are we done? It's not going to give us any more pictures. No, we have no more pictures. We only have like 5 left. We only have 5 left. Where are these pictures? Oh, it's loading. Load me. No, everything's loading. What's going on?
It's Spectrum.
It's spooky. Oh, is it 3? Oh, it's not 3 yet.
No, Spectrum's just been acting up.
I'm sad that they don't have like the fucking places. Like I seen that one that was in the UK and I got excited. I thought we're getting more UK. I don't know why it's supposed to be America. And then we got that one that was in England or whatever. And I'm like, what? That's not the right place. Here's another bed and breakfast. I ain't saying there. Bed and breakfast. Get your bed, your breakfast, and your ghost right now. It attracts ghost hunters and paranormal investigators, frequently mystery incidents. 12 group organized devoted to exploring paranormal activities say they've encountered spirits here. According to haunted houses, is otherwise occupant include former owners, Italian gambler, 14-year-old prostitute, and doctor.
14-year-old prostitute? What?
Well, if it was the 1900s, then that was like that was our like 35. So to be fair,
yikes.
This one doesn't give a date. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I need a date. Because if it's like 1400 and like 1980, we got a problem. But if it's like 14 and like 1882, it's like, she's going to die in like 5 years.
I do not know.
Well, like the average life expectancy, you didn't live over 30.
I don't know like when that was. I know like, yeah, people like, you got to 20, you're like a grandfather, but like, I don't know when that was.
I think I read somewhere like the ideal time for a woman to have a baby is like 17, like 16, 17, because I don't know. I read that somewhere. Like back in the day, like you had to have babies by then or you would be dead.
Well, yeah. People die early.
That's right. Don't let appearances fool you. The seemingly ordinary pub is haunted. Look at this place. All the ghosts hanging out there.
They're watching all the TVs. Someone changes the channel. I was watching that.
Oh, that place looks cool. Look, we could break into this place,
That's
Aura.
Oh, you want to? Where is it?
Cleveland, Ohio. Look at this place. Look, it's all boarded up and shit. I like the boarded up shit. Like that's where the haunty is. The spooky, scary stuff. Is
the one that's closed off to the public.
Right. This one doesn't look spooky, scary to me. Like in my long time spooky, scary time, like ghosts don't come out when it's heavily active. Like they don't. Like there's too much shit going on. They wouldn't be able to manifest or whatever.
The ghosties, they're sleeping.
They sleep with that energy. There's too much shit going on. They need you to focus on them. Let's see. German immigrant Hans Tideman had this beautiful home built on Franklin Boulevard in Cleveland in the early 1880s. Hans lived in the home with his wife, Louise, and 2 daughters, Auguste, and Dora. Those are terrible old names. And used the remaining rooms for friends and family visiting from Germany. Eventually, Auguste and Dora moved out of the house, and Louise died in 1885, prompting Hans to sell the house and moved out in 1896. The home changed hands multiple times after that. Once belonged to German American League of Culture and Girl's husband. Today stands abandoned. See, abandoned. Let's break in. Save for the ghost for Louise Tideman and daughter Emma, who never even lived in the house. She died before it was built. Okay, so Louise. So supposedly Louise and Emma, who never lived in the house, she died before it was built. So the baby died before it even came. That was probably their first child. Supposedly how does a baby, like an infant baby, haunt something?
They probably just exist somewhere and just wail.
But I see that kind of contradicts the whole like death thing for me. Like in my eyes, like babies don't like have spiritual like attachments. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
like they can't like if a baby dies, they go to heaven. Basically, like, all dogs go to heaven, like because they haven't been in there to break that stuff down. They don't have that like anchor to the world. I guess they haven't done anything bad. They're only going to go to happy places. At least that's what I tell myself, so I don't get upset when babies die. Like, all babies go to heaven. Babies are innocent and perfect, and it's not hurtful. Like, we were watching a show right before this, and like the guy got out of the car and walks to the lake holding a baby and just puts it on the water. And I'm like, I can't. And I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta start stream stuff. That's why I was here so early. And then he pulls the baby up and it was just baptizing the baby. And I was like, thank you for the love of God. I can't handle babies dying, guys. I can't. This is that Valentine, Nebraska thing. Hearing voices, knocking lights. So that's a huge thing too with the ghosts, which we haven't really covered, is the lights, because supposedly they eat the energy and then they manifest into lights.
Mm-hmm.
Eat the energy.
Yeah.
Reporters, voices, lights, even music coming from music room, though it no longer houses any instruments. The main ghost, however, is said to be that of a girl who died on the premises in 1944, alleged from poisoned Carl Nut Red. I don't know what that is. So that's our last one.
That's stuff that die that's like illegal now or something.
Maybe. Yeah,
there's
that's
like a red
weird.
dye. I don't think that's what that is, but there's like a red dye that's like illegal to use because like something happened. I can't remember, but
yeah,
it is a no to do now.
So we talked a lot about bed and breakfasts. This is my video. Who wants to come here with me?
I was gonna say, is this a haunted bed and breakfast? Because that looks
Look at this
swank.
That looks like
this is the home of The Shining.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. This is what it looks like inside right now. And if you pre-book your tickets to stay the night, it's only like $120 a night to stay at like The Shining. Look at this place. That is super cheap for a room. Look how cool this is. Historic Estate Park, Colorado Hotel. They don't even say that it's like they just say
red rum.
Right? So this is number one on my bucket list of places to go with like a group of friends and get like 2 joining rooms and just fucking stay here for like 2 or 3 nights. I mean, it looks fucking incredible. And I just want to like go to this location. I like that droid photo.
Yeah.
Do we have another one? Is it the same one? Let's see.
I think it looks different.
Oh, it's a whole video. Let's see. Hold on, turn down our spooky music. We got a whole fucking video to play. This is why I saved this one for last. I was like, this is gonna be a good one. That country music, bro. They aren't even selling you on the spook. Ooh, look how cool that is. Oh my God. Oh, it looks so good. That's a Lego hotel. We can't stay in there. We're not that small.
Oh my God, the typewriter.
Look at that view, bro.
Oh, that's pretty.
I'll stay at that bed and breakfast. I'll eat breakfast there. Look at that. That's so pretty. See, now we're not thinking even spooky.
Yeah. This is how we're
That was a Tesla. Hold on, wait. That was a Tesla fucking... Did you see that? It was like a Tesla charge. Hold on. Where is it? Did I skip it? I think I skipped it. Go back. I don't want to see that. Look, right there. It's a Tesla charger. You could drive your Tesla here and charge your fucking car and get the ghost. Charge your ghost. So these are like the modern rooms. I don't want to stay at these rooms. Is those the cheap ones? That's not what I want. Dude, look at this place.
What if the breakfast is atrocious?
I don't even care. Ghost gooeyes.
That's half of what you're paying for is bed and breakfast.
Look at this crazy place. What are they watching? The water?
The water. That's like the one thing I was like, oh, that's kind of weird that they just have like, you just sit there and watch the water.
I would.
Unless they have like an actual like pull down screen or something like that.
At like 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to go there and watch that water.
No, 3
we don't want to watch
witching hour.
I'm going to go there at 2 until 3. That's the whole thing. I'm going to sit there, get drunk, and be like, come out ghosty, and it's going to be like a water ghost, like spurging. Crow noises.
I was going to say that's what water ghosts sound like.
Water ghost. So, okay, so yeah, you can book your different rooms here. Most popular atmospheric room. So they've made it like pretty, and this is like you could like they've sell it like who's gonna get married here?
Somebody.
I'd get married.
Who would get married there? I would.
I would get married.
The next second.
Dude, I would totally like if I didn't have like a whole pirate ship wedding planned, I'd get married there. But this place is so cool.
If you do, you should go to the Pirates Dinner Theater. That place is dope.
No, like if I ever get married, which I won't because I'm getting past old lady marriage time, so I can't really get married.
There's like 60-year-old ladies getting married for like the 8th time. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
those bitches are weird. I don't want to do that. I'll be too old to be in a wedding dress. I don't want those kind of pictures. I want like pictures of me now, so I look beautiful and like
Photoshop them onto the older one.
Can I Photoshop Jason Momoa as well?
Do you want me to help you with that? I'll help you with that.
Can you Photoshop Jason Momoa marrying me so I can just put that all over and make that my like picture?
I definitely can.
Yes, winning. This was Aura's amazing picture, by the way, guys. Look at this creepy, weird shit. Like the
I
lip.
feel like there is a thing you can do to make that.
There's an Easter egg. You see it? Look at the haunting. Look at the haunting. Keep staring at it. Keep staring at it. Did you catch the face?
Oh, it is a goosey face. It's a goosey face.
Look at you.
Oh, yeah, that's so clever. Aura has been making us amazing thumbnails, and I was literally going to like open stuff to make thumbnails, and then he's like, I sent you one. I'm like, "Well, Crow, if you don't bitch, you still get it."
Yeah, see, he's just being a douche. Like, he gives me nothing to work with.
It gives me nothing.
I mean, to be fair, I had nothing to work with this one. I just did a thing.
I like the mouth how it twitches. That's my favorite.
Where is it? I know it's there.
Oh, the creepy mouth.
No, the creepy face is on his nose. He can't see it. Where is it?
I'm scared. I'm so scared. There's a shark and an octopus lady. This is creepy. I've seen enough hentai to know where I'm going. And
Where's my nose?
We couldn't
give me one.
You didn't give me enough. So we've had about 20 people, like the whole thing. So that's really cool.
F Crow.
F Crow.
That guy. Forget that guy.
Hold on. I just realized I forgot that we were playing this on Facebook as well. I don't know what's going on Facebook. Let me go check. I haven't even checked Facebook. I'm sorry, Facebook engagements.
I'm sorry. Ignored.
I think this answers operating. Both. So like it answers both. I think. I'm not sure. I haven't streamed on Facebook in like a year, so it's very. I don't know what's going on over there. Facebook, I'm sorry. I suck. I streamed on Facebook today because I was getting called out for not paying attention to my Facebook people. I'm sorry, Facebook. I'm always on Twitter, Gothic Sushi with 2 eyes because it's my second account. So, and Instagram got shut down, Facebook, so it's 3 eyes because my third account. And YouTube is just Gothic Sushi because it's my first account and I haven't got shut down yet. Yeah. Hence the yeah. But yeah, we do a show every Tuesday night. If you have an idea for a show for next week, please comment in the comments on YouTube or let us know, me or Kayla or even Aura on Twitters. After this stream, I am going to jump over to my Twitch stream and we are going to play some Overwatch because they just released a new character. So I want to put a new character. Oh, by the way, Aura, look, I bought the Streamlabs thing or the StreamYard.
I saw it. I saw your little emblem right
I was
there.
like, I have a thing now. I'm like, I want it because I wanted it so much. I was like, I can't. I need it. Look, then there's like me and the thing and the stuff.
Well, how'd you want to do it? You wanted to pay quarters or halves? How'd you want to do it?
You don't have to pay halves. I'm doing it. It's fine.
Okay.
He's like, okay.
Okay.
Or always wants to go. He always wants to go halvesies with me, but I'm always like, but I want it now. I'm
trying to help.
I'm very impatient. If you guys want to use it, it's fine. Just let me know. It's cool.
I'll pay for time then. I'll pay for studio time.
That sounds fair. I agree to that then. How's that sound?
Word.
Also, I dropped your link to Twitch in the chat.
Oh, thank you.
I'm always on it.
Coming in clutch like you always do.
Oh. Oh. So yeah, we're gonna play some Overwatch. Smiley is gonna join me on Overwatch. Try out the new character a little bit. I think Kaiju King might be jumping on as well. Thank you guys for joining us for the stream. Let me know in comments and all that good stuff if you want to go to spooky, scary skeleton spaces.
Yeah.
And maybe me and Aura will break into some crazy places in Florida and do a vlog.
If you're down, I still have the spot open where I busted in last time. Like I didn't get to finish the whole thing. Yeah.
He's got a spot.
What's that face? Yes, I have a spot. I had a spot.
I wish Kayla was here so we could take her on like ghost hunting adventures.
I wish she was just here in general.
Aww.
Aww.
Y'all trying to get me involved in hood rat shit.
No, that's not why.
No. We want to take you on adventures. Some of them might happen to be a little hood ratty. That's really it.
I just want you here.
Aww.
That's so fucking cute.
Anyway,
thank you guys for coming to the stream, enjoying the show. We do this every Tuesday night. It's usually me and Kayla. Aura comes in, Crow comes in. We send out a whole bunch of links. Sometimes it'll be magical, random friends jumping in. Yes, people do bail all the time. This is why one of the reasons why we stopped tea time and the waifu wins it, because people just bail. And then I don't want to.
Now it's just like surprise. It's always going to be us and probably most likely Aura and Crow. But
yeah, I was like,
I don't want to do drama streams anymore. I like doing I like this stuff. Like I was just talking about bullshit and talking chat. It was fun.
Let's just chill. I'm down.
So if you guys have any ideas for streams you'd like us to cover, please hit one of us up and we'll be more than happy to get back to you and maybe cover a stream for you guys. Thank you guys. Peace out.
Adios.
Just doing the things.
I did the face one more time.
Oh, God.